Good day, my friends. I want to give another little kind of quick summary because I think without complete information, I think it's really hard for people to give suggestions. And I know because you don't know the kind of tests that I went through, it was like I was actually there 5 hours. And a lot of it was a physical type test of checking my capacity of what I can do. Okay, so they put my body through a lot. I'm just gonna say it that way. Otherwise, I was doing great. My recovery, I had a setback when I was traveling with my friend Chris because I needed to rest right at the time that I got together with her, and I didn't get that rest time. So I notice whenever I push my body and I push it to the extreme without giving it some rest in between movement, I will have a huge setback. Now, one of the, I don't know what you want to call, one of the segments of the test that they had me do was awful. It hit me harder than I ever anticipated, and I think even them on when I went through this, on the pain level that happened to me afterwards. Okay, so that's just the only thing I can say, and I know, and I'm sorry I can't be more upfront. I have to be more vague, but this is YouTube, and not everybody out there has my best at hand or cares, and so I just have to be more careful about what I put out there. Maybe in the future, down the line, maybe somewhere in there I will be able to share more, but right now I really can't, okay? So I'm so sorry. But other than that, I was doing so well with my recovery, and I will recover from this. It was this darn physical several hour test that my body had to go through. Okay, the other thing, I think I've been doing extremely well with my diet and my investigation. I still have a lot more to do. I don't believe there is one particular diet out there that works for everybody, and I think everybody has to be careful to listen to your body and not go with the majority of the fad that's out there that's following particular diets. My body has always been extremely complicated. I was diet controlled, I became diet controlled diabetic from the time that I was 33 years old. They found out that I had that, and I instantly said, I don't want no pills. Teach me what I need to do. I will fight this. And I went through the shakes and the shimmers and everything you go through as you're bringing your blood sugars to a normal, because I was averaging 300, okay? And I've shared that story and how I almost died. I could put a link to that if I have time. I'm trying to get this out in a hurry because I have a friend coming today, and if I don't get this out, maybe it might be by tomorrow, but I do want to clear up some things, And so I took sugar out. That's number one. I don't do sugar. I have not done sugar since I was 33 years old. I might do a little jelly or jam, but I make sure it's just 100% fruit. I do small amount. I know the grams of sugar how much I can have per serving. I don't think all sugars are bad for you. Berries are very good for you. There's antioxidants in them. I don't go for these fad diets that just take all kinds of fruits out there away from you, because I don't think that's realistic. You have high glycemic fruits like bananas. It's not that I can't have a banana. I have to have a smaller portion. I don't think a lot of these diets out there teach balance, and really about how much you can eat of certain types of foods, or putting combinations of foods together is not good, like a potato and a banana. Those are two high glycemic type fruits, and if you are insulin sensitive, that is going to cause your blood sugars to spike. Now, another thing is I fight inflammation. So there are diets out there that are better for people that struggle with inflammation, okay? And I'm going to be researching that more. I also have more food sensitivities or intolerances than the other people out there. One of the next things that I need to do, and I've talked about this, and I will be talking about this more, is I've bought a journal book. I think it's somewhere in here, that I can, yeah, here it is. So I bought a journal book, and so the next thing, once now that I've got all of this stuff done with the doctors and I'm ready to move out, start heading to get back with Kent, is to really put this at the top of my list to start really going through. FODMAP diet is basically finding the foods that your body has a reaction to, because you have to remember that not all foods out there, just because they are healthy or just because they are a part of a type of diet out there, like keto, or even it could be a vegan diet, or anything that's just, they give it a title name. You can have intolerances to maybe some things that are in that diet that they're saying, oh yeah, you can eat. Okay, I also cannot eat high salty foods. Okay, I do have to keep a low sodium diet because I struggle with high blood pressure. Also inflammation, bloating, things like that. There are foods that I know for a fact that are healthy that will cause me to bloat almost instantly, and that is like cauliflower. That is like broccolis, cabbage, things like that. I have to play around with if it's quantity or how it's cooked. Those could be definitely a reason why I could have more of a sensitivity or just have to take it out at all. There's some foods that can cause more inflammation on a person like me. So nightshades are supposed to be taken out. I have to investigate that more. But this journal, once I get into a more simple diet, then I can bring in foods, introduce them, see how my body reacts to them, so I can get a more specialized ingredient type diet that works for me, and then maybe incorporate it into another type of diet out there, which I'm thinking more vegetarian, but I'm not 100%. I call it flexitarian because I will be eating meat, but maybe dairy has to be taken out. Keto eats a lot of dairy, and when you fight inflammation, that is not to be one high on the list. So those are things that I need to figure out. They still don't know 100% what is wrong with me. I have to go in for another blood test because at one time in 2016 I had a high antititer, which means that my body could be struggling with something autoimmune. It could mean RA. They were actually even looking for lupus. So what I need to do is go back in and find out if that ANA titer is high or got higher. Okay, so until I do that test, I really don't know 100% what I'm going to be looking at more seriously with my body, other than listening to my body and knowing how I do struggle, obviously, with inflammation, and also when I put my body through more physical exertion. So balance is going to be really important for me. If you notice in that last video of my update, just to show you, I'm drinking my coffee, is my stomach was really bloated. I want you to see this morning how it is down, okay? But how quickly I can eat something in the morning and and then instantly I can get bloated, like, what the heck did I just eat? And that's what I need to find out more. What are those foods? Because I can go from a really flat tummy to, I'm just like bloated up like a big balloon, So I will be looking for answers. And I hope you'll stay around and follow as I share. But I want you to also keep in mind that even what I figure out, what works for me, may not work for you. Okay? So it is really important to know your individual body, but just even be aware that if you are on a named diet, maybe even all the foods in that named diet might not necessarily be the best for you. Okay? So if you're ever in doubt or have any kind of suspicion of having food intolerances, look into a FODMAP diet. This is not a long-term diet. This is just a temporary thing that you use to map out those foods that are not doing well in your particular individual body. And that is the journey that I am going to be on. Okay? So, I just wanted to clear that up because of that last video, and in case people start really heavily suggesting a type of diet, I don't mind suggesting foods, or try this food, or maybe this food and this food, and then I can individually map it out in my world. But to actually name a diet for me right now, I don't believe is the best suitable thing for me, other than increasing my vegetables. But even then, I gotta watch what vegetables. I found that one out. I was making a spaghetti with a broccoli coleslaw, and oh my gosh, did I bloat up from that. Where I've eaten it, the same sauce, without the broccoli coleslaw in there, and like I did green beans in there, did not react that way. So definitely had to do with the broccoli, from the broccoli coleslaw. So these are things that I'm starting to piece together to become more aware of how my body reacts to some foods, okay? All right, well, I just wanted to get this out so you could know. But overall, I believe I am recovering very quickly, more quickly than I thought I would be. And so I think that has a lot to do with the diet that I have been being more mindful about. But I wanted to show you, yeah, I did look bad. I mean, I was hardly able to walk. But if you only knew what they physically put me through with all of my spinal issues and arthritis in my hips, and I've got joint, issues everywhere. It's a wonder that it left me crippled. I mean, I'm just surprised my back is recovering like it is because of I had to do some weight bearing stuff as they checked my capabilities, and oh my God, one of them was so crippling to me, but I'm making huge recovery is all I can say. So without you knowing why I had to go through this, what exactly I went through, I know I'm vague and I'm sorry. It has to be this way right now. But I am doing very well considering what I just had to go through. But it's in the past. This is my final recovery, and I can move more slowly as I'm getting things done and allowing myself more time to rest soon. And that is what is the best medicine for me now. Okay. All right. So I just want to get this really quick out. Hope I didn't repeat myself, but I haven't had my coffee yet. My brain doesn't always work well in the morning. But I love you all, and yeah, and I do appreciate all your input, and and even recipes that you want to share, because I can take a recipe and I can modify it. Even if it's labeled under a name of, if I see something that they're using something that has a meat that's way too salty, I'm like, oh no, there's way too much sodium in that thing, I don't do bacon, I took sausage out, way too much sodium. I'm only allowed 1,500 milligrams of sodium in a day, so keep that in mind, but I'll modify it. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, I love you all. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you for your interest and your care, and and I look forward to us all learning how to have better health together, but yet also individual for each of our own personal needs. See you in the next video.